What's up, everybody? Thanks for watching today, baby. All right, guys, I just want to make a quick video talking about setting realistic expectations while tapering Suboxone. I guess you could possibly use this as far as like tapering opiates if you're on pain medication. However, I found personally in my experience, and this is all just my experience, I'm not a doctor, this is not medical advice. This is just my experience, and my dog's gonna play with her little toy now. Izzy, come here. Come here. So, all right. No, I lost my train of thought. All right, so I was kind of just looking back on my history and seeing what I've been able to do and what I haven't been able to do as far as tapering and timelines and whatnot. So hopefully you guys can take this for what it's worth and just realize this is my experience. It may be easier for me to taper than others just because of my life situations. I don't have a lot of other things going on that could stress me out. I have very little stressors outside of me working on my recovery, right? So it might not be the same way for all of you. Everybody's body's going to be different, and their tolerance to tapering is going to be different, of course. So again, for the last time, this is just my experience of what I've noticed. So I was going over my records. I do keep a pretty strict record of my dose of Suboxone, and I have it all in the calendar. So I can flip back each week and see how far I progressed. What I took on this day of last week, can I beat that by taking lower this time? How I like to do it is to tally up the amount of milligrams for the entire week, and then I'll divide it by 7. And then that kind of tells me what my average milligram dose is for the week, right? So the goal is to take less every week. And that is one of the biggest things I've noticed. One of the biggest mistakes I've made with my taper is trying to go too fast and then having a stockpile of medication to where it didn't matter if I slipped a bit, right? So if I was going too fast on my taper, I would freak out, have a bad couple of days, and then take higher doses, and then that's therefore pushing your tolerance back up. So if you have an off day or a bad day, guys, don't be too hard on yourself. Just try to hurry and catch it and get back on with the regular scheduled program if you're able to. Obviously, life is going to have all sorts of different things that pop up from now and then, but that is what it is. So what I've noticed personally is I'm able to do about up to 50% reductions per month. So what that would look like if you were on, let's say you were starting your taper at 16 milligrams. You could set a goal on your calendar for a month from today. You could shoot for being steady on 8 milligrams, right? And it's doable. Again, you're going to be talking with your doctor and talking to your doctor and planning this out with your doctor, right? Ideally, but not everybody's seeing a doctor, so maybe this can kind of help you get some ideas for what you're doing on your own if you're not working with a doctor. So you could go from 16 milligrams to 8 milligrams in a month's time. And this is also assuming that you're willing to work for your taper. It's not just going to be the easiest thing in the world. You are going to have to put some effort into it, right? You could try that. If it didn't work out for you, maybe switch it to like 25% reduction each month. So I think somewhere between 25 and 50% reduction in a month's time is totally doable for most people. So if you're on 16 milligrams, you would need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, about 8 months to taper off in a realistic fashion. That's at going 50% a month. So what that would look like is 16 milligrams the first month. By the second month, you would be tapered down to 8 milligrams. By the next month, you'd be tapered down to 4, then 2 milligrams, then 1 milligram, then half a milligram, and then 0.25, which is a quarter of 1 milligram. And then I would say for the last month, a quarter milligram every other day. So that last part is crucial to where you're skipping days. I personally did not do that, and I have been tapered down to even lower than 1/4 milligram when I got off Suboxone one time, and it was still a challenging withdrawal, right? So the goal is, guys, to come in. You can get down to the lower doses pretty quick, but once you get down to the lower doses, it's important to try to slow things down if you can. So that's what's going to help you be more successful. That's what I've noticed on the thousands of Suboxone videos I've watched. There's a common thing, and that's with the people that are coming in, they're taking their time, especially at the last part of the taper, really taking their time. Jay was talking last night in my live stream, and he had said he wanted to go from basically 2 milligrams, and I could be a little off on these doses, so forgive me if I am. But he said he wanted to go from 2 milligrams to, I believe, 1 milligram in a week, to 1/2 milligram in a week, to nothing. So that's basically going from 2 milligrams to nothing in 3 weeks. And I told him, I said, that's not very realistic in my opinion. Can it be done? Sure, people have done worse than that, but more often than not, that's going to be too fast because 2 milligrams is still a pretty high dose of medication, all things considered, right? So I told him, I said, I don't think it's very realistic, but you can try. There's nothing wrong with trying. If you're in the position to try to get off Suboxone, maybe you have a week's worth of vacation you can take off of work and try to quit, dude, try it. If you're not going to relapse, and you know you're not going to relapse, or you don't still have your drug dealer on speed dial, you have some clean time, and the last thing you want to do is mess up your life and go backwards with your recovery, then what's the harm in trying? The worst that happens is it doesn't work, okay? But I have always stressed to people that if you're going to do that, and say you make it 3, 4, 5, 7 days, and you've suffered some, you paid the piper some of your addiction, right? A lot of us will say, there is no getting out of this without paying the piper. You need to either pay him in time and tapering, or you can cold turkey it and just fight him head on. Everybody's different. On a side note too, we had a really good live stream last night with Kristen jumped in, and she shared a great success story. You can go down to my comments of the last live stream video. I want to say it was at the 42-minute mark when she hopped on, and we had a really good conversation about her cold turkeying 4 milligrams and being successful with it. So there are plenty of people out there in the world that can do it. If your why is strong enough, then it can be done. It's just most people need to taper. That's the gist of Suboxone. Getting off Suboxone, I would say, it seems like most people, guys. I mean, if I had to put a guess on it, I would say 90% of people can't cold turkey Suboxone. They need to taper. But you'll find out real quick. You can try. And like I said, if you suffered a week, don't come on at the same dose that you jumped off, guys. And I say this all the time, and it's for a good reason, because your tolerance is now lowered. And if you've gone a week without Suboxone, you can easily take half of what you were taking before, and your body will accept that as the new normal. So please don't suffer for nothing and jump back onto the dose you came off at, because it's just a big waste of time. Why slow down your taper when you can take that suffering as a great time to fast forward your taper? I've done that a couple times. When I tried jumping off at 3 milligrams, I made it 4 days, 5 days. I came back on it at 2 milligrams, maybe 1.5 milligrams, and my body was totally fine. I was happy with it. Nicole just did that on her channel, right? She jumped off of somewhere around 1 milligram. She made it 5, 10 days, something like that. And then she came back on at 1/4 or 1/2 milligram. She cut her dose in half, and she's fine. Okay, your body will accept that. Yes, you can stabilize on every dose. In my experience, I have been stable on 1/4 milligram. Reed right now is stable on 1/4 milligram. Your body will adjust. You just need to be patient with it. So I just wanted to say that, guys, if you don't have a lot of experience with tapering Suboxone, you'll realize soon that it's a medication to be patient with, to be respected, and that the medication is likely doing more psychologically than you think that it's doing. Some people are on 16 milligrams and they say they feel totally fine and totally normal. Chances are that their body's just so adjusted to the medication that they do feel normal, right? But make no mistake, if they come off of that dose, it's going to be an entirely different reality, at least while their body is recalculating itself. So just want to make a quick video talking about that, guys. Somewhere between 25% and 50% a month. If you guys want to mark it down on your calendar, set goals for yourself. Keep track of your doses, because it feels like a month worth of tapering. It feels like you're not making any progress, right? I look back a month ago, my doses were twice as high as they are now. So it can feel like this drags out forever, and it will drag out forever if you're slipping and you're going back up in your doses and then you're having to taper back down. You're slipping, you're doing good on your taper. Oh, you slip, you go back up. That's how you're gonna be in this cycle for 10, 15 years. Keep track of your doses. Don't go the wrong way with your taper, and take your time, and you'll find out what works for you guys. Be patient with yourself. Thanks for watching, guys. Have a great day. Bye.